Welcome back. We have recently been considering the importance of prayer in the life of the early church. As the church began to grow, there was a large backlash against it from the religious establishment, who then sought the backing of the political establishment. In Acts 12, we see Peter's miraculous release from prison in the church's response. I'd like to read the first 17 verses, beginning verse 1. Now, about that time, Herod, the king, stretched out his hand to harass some from the church. Then he killed James, the brother of John, with a sword, and because he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to seize Peter also. Now it was during the days of unleavened bread. So, when he had arrested him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 squads of soldiers to keep him, intending to bring him before the people after Passover. Peter was therefore kept in prison, but constant prayer was offered to God for him by the church. And when Herod was about to bring him out, that night Peter was sleeping, bound with 2 chains between 2 soldiers, and the guards before the door were keeping the prison. Now behold, an angel of the Lord stood by him, and a light shone in the prison, and he struck Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, "Arise quickly." And his chains fell off his hands. Then the angel said to him, "Gird yourself and tie on your sandals." So he did. And he said to him, "Put on your garment and follow me." So he, that is Peter, went out and followed him, and did not know what was done by the angel was real, but thought that he was seeing a vision. When they were past the first and second guard posts, they came to the iron gate that leads to the city, which opened to them of its own accord, and they went out and went down one street, and immediately the angel departed from him. And when Peter had come to himself, he said, "Now I know for certain that the Lord has sent his angel, and has delivered me from the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the Jewish people." So when he had considered this, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a girl named Rhoda came to answer. When she recognized Peter's voice because of her gladness, she did not open the gate, but ran in and announced that Peter stood before the gate. But they said to her, "You are beside yourself." Yet she kept insisting that it was so. So they said, "It is his angel." Now Peter continued knocking, and when they opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. But motioning to them with his hand to keep silent, he declared to them how the Lord brought him out of the prison. He said, "Go tell these things to James and to the brethren." And he departed and went to another place. When Peter was arrested, the church was mobilized. We're told that constant prayer was offered to God for him. I'm reminded of a 72-hour men's retreat that I went on numerous years ago. I remember that one of the things that impressed me the most was the prayer wall. On that wall were sheets of paper containing the list of every man's name that was on the retreat. And then there was also a listing of 72 groups of people who would be praying for each of us in hourly increments throughout the retreat. Through the day, through the night. I also then remember the amazing things that God did that weekend in the lives of the men who attended the retreat. Not only did the Lord do a work in my heart, but he also allowed me to be a part of his work in the redeeming of the soul of another man. The prayer of the saints is what God uses to bring about many of the mighty works which he chooses to accomplish. The mobilization of the church to pray. But as impressive as that is, one of the things about this account of the church praying for Peter that has always interested me is not necessarily just the miracle, but their disbelief. Their disbelief. Here they are praying for the very miracle that happened, They couldn't believe it when it happened. When Rhoda kept insisting that Peter was at the door, they said, "It must be his angel." How often do we doubt that God will truly do something miraculous for us, even after we have seen him do it before? This wasn't the first time that Peter had been miraculously released from a jail. And here was the church in constant prayer, interceding on his behalf. God answered the prayer in a mighty way. And yet they had a hard time believing. I'm mindful of Jesus speaking to his disciples, "O ye of little faith." Take time today to pray, believing that God is, and that God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And have a blessed day.